witnesses today. First, I'm going to call Ms. Gina Clayton-Tarvin first and Mr. John Briscoe second. Since you are each representing the school district, if one of you can, I would give one of you 5 minutes and the other 3 minutes. Do you have a preference as to who would like the 5 minutes? Okay. If you can begin by stating your name, spelling it, and then stating for the record that you took the oath today, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. The 5 minutes begins after you state your name and mention that you've taken the oath.
My name is Gina Clayton-Tarvin, GINA-CLAYTON-TARVIN. I'm from the Ocean View School District. I am the president of the Board of Trustees, and I have taken the oath. Good morning, Chairwoman Prusak and hearing board members. My name is Gina Clayton-Tarvin, and I'm the president of the Ocean View School District Board of Trustees. It's been a long time since I've stood before you, and if you recall, my appearances at prior hearings were filled with concern, upset, and sometimes anger towards those that operated the Rainbow Transfer Station. I had been the most visible and vocal critic of Rainbow, and for good reason. As you know, the transfer station sits mere yards from our Oakview school, serving over 1,000 young children. And after decades of neglect in the Oakview community, residents affected by the operations at the transfer station finally received some relief with the action taken by this very hearing board in the form of a stipulated abatement order back in November of 2015. And since the order has been in place, things have not been perfect. In fact, on some days it still smells, and I still call the AQMD to complain, but there has been significant improvement. I believe that with the completion of the municipal solid waste and green waste enclosures being worked on now and ready to be utilized, things will drastically improve. My understanding from multiple sources is that the project to build the new structures with enclosures for all three areas, including the construction and demolition area, have been held up due to severe rainstorms this year, as well as some permitting issues with the city of Huntington Beach. And while delays are never good in this case, they were actually totally unavoidable. Today I stand before you for a very different reason, and I'm happy to say that after 3 years of battling the trash dump across the street, we've come to a place as a school district where instead of fighting, we're working as neighbors with Republic toward a common goal. And since new management at Republic has taken over, the school district has seen marked improvement in conditions in daily operations at the facility, which result in better conditions for our students and staff. New leadership was brought on board by Republic to run the facility in the form of a new general manager named Chris Kentop, who sits there. I feel that he has the right character and drive to lead and to make good on Republic's commitment to clean up their act. The communication with the school district has improved tenfold from Republic, and we now receive operation plans emailed to us on a daily basis. We know upcoming construction, when things will occur on site, and if any odor reports from the day before have occurred. The days of guessing, worrying, and feeling anxiety about what was occurring over across the street are now a thing of the past. I'm pleased to announce that the one last concern that we had that led to one of our legal disputes, one of the 3 legal disputes that we had with Rainbow originally, has recently been worked out. We are currently working toward an agreement with Republic to modify their operating permits overseen by the Orange County Healthcare Agency, the local enforcement agency for Cal Recycle, so that even after this stipulated abatement order sunsets, there will be permanent prohibitions in place, barring the crushing of, storing, and stockpiling of concrete, asphalt, and other dangerous and noxious materials on site. A year ago, this would not have been possible, and today it is. So, with certainty, I stand before you in support of Republic's modification order request. And knowing that the delays in completion of the 3rd and final enclosure were out of their control, I support the hearing board granting this extension today if you so choose. In closing, I can say that without your intervention, our students would still be suffering with no hope in sight. I want to thank you for what you did back in 2015 to bring relief to the children, teachers, and community of Oakview. Your decisive actions were a precursor for environmental justice. You gave a voice to those that did not have one, the children. And for that, I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just in case there's any questions, I'll start with Mr. Bruin. Do you have any questions for the witness?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Manwaring, any questions?
Good morning, Ms. Clayton-Tarvin. No,
Good
just
morning.
want to say thank you for your comments and your continued attention to this issue.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you for what you've done for the children. Board members, any questions? Senator had a question. I'm sorry, Ms. Clayton-Tarvin.
Yes, Senator.
Well, you have this petition, Public 241.
I don't have it in front of me, sir. May I have a copy if you'd like me to?
They said you were going to be the spokesperson, and you are the spokesperson.
I am the official spokesperson of the Ocean View School District. Yes, I am.
Was it a slide docs you're supposed to present to us?
No, I'm not presenting that.
Okay, so your testimony is in place of the slide documents.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. And what about the diesel truck traffic?
Yeah, you know, that is something.
Address that issue. Has that been addressed yet?
It's been addressed in conversations between Republic and the school district. There hasn't been any kind of formal discussions yet about how that can be taken care of, but I'm assuming that going forward, we're going to be speaking about that. I had a conversation at one time with Dave Hauser from Republic Services. He's their market vice president, and he did discuss that that would be something that they could potentially look at, and it's something that the school district has great interest in due to the fact that the trucks turn in right at the preschool, and sometimes they idle in front of the preschool, and it's loud, and there's diesel fumes and things like that. So I have interest in getting that resolved. Yes, sir.
That's one of the big issues that influenced me last time when I voted on this.
Yes.
The trucks, the diesel fuel, the kids being inhaling that and so on. There's been a lot of opposition based on the trucks.
Yes, sir.
Now, we also discussed the traffic mitigation plan. Were you aware of it at the time we talked about that?
I wasn't at that particular update hearing, but I am familiar with the traffic, or a desire to look into a traffic mitigation plan, and the school district supports doing that.
It's been a year and a half.
I know.
So that's okay with you so far?
Well, right now, what we're working on is trying to get these enclosures completed, because that was the main, I guess, force for us filing the nuisance lawsuit back in 2013. It was due to, vermin, nuisance of the seagulls. The stench really was the main, and actually what really prompted us to seek legal intervention through the courts is the concrete crushing. That's really what started this for us, is having those uncovered piles of rubble across the street that were actually taken away. But to answer you directly, yes, I am very concerned about the truck idling and about that situation, and I have talked to some people at Republic about it, and I believe that we have intention to come to a conclusion and make a change there.
Now, what about the trucks being covered as they waiting to dump their trash?
I believe some of the trucks, and I don't know exactly how the operations work. I've only been on site one time, like physically, and seen the trucks.
Really?
Yeah, I refused to go over there for many years, and that is due to an active protest I was making against that business.
And the trucks in front of the school, they wait.
Most are covered, I would say. The trash trucks themselves are covered, and I believe that the transfer trucks, they're all enclosed. They're like big lorries, big trucks. I think there are some trucks that may be uncovered, but they're very few compared to the ones that are covered.
I see. Now, in part of your settlement, they're offering $4 million to the gym.
Yes, and we are currently engaged with an architect and a building firm to build the gym at the Oak View School. It is being financed by Republic Services, and it's being built by the Ocean View School District, not by the City of Huntington Beach, as was stated earlier.
So what's the estimated cost to build that gym, do you know?
We're going to use every last penny, up to $4 million. Every last penny.
I see. All right, thank you. But you're satisfied?
I'm satisfied with this particular situation, that I believe they need more time.
Okay, so
They can't get it done. They can't get the last building done without this extra time, sir. There's no possible way.
I understand.
On that issue, I'm
And
satisfied.
the permit was difficult to acquire.
Yes, sir, and I actually had spoken to, oh, thank you, madam. I had spoken to several of my colleagues at the City of Huntington Beach, and they verified for me that was true because, as you know, I've been very suspicious of Republic and Rainbow for many years, and I didn't believe, what was being said to me most of the time. And but since there's new management under Mr. Kentop, I actually believe them. He has proven to me that he is trustworthy. But I did still go and ask my friends, a council person at the City of Huntington Beach, if that was correct. I also sent over my staff member that works from Ocean View. I sent her over there to look at the permits and to see if they were held up. And in fact, they were. It's true. From the city.
So if I am to join my members and concur with this request,
Yes, sir.
I don't expect to see you back here real soon, I don't think.
I don't think I'll be back real soon. I think what we've done, I have to tell you, is coming from a place where we were constantly at each other's throats, literally, not literally, figuratively, but we were arguing about a lot over the years. We've come from there to, I pick up the telephone, I call Mr. Kentop, or Mr. Hauser, I've had dealings with him, or I have our attorneys call to Mr. Bruin and I say, this is still an outstanding issue. We just had this literally yesterday. We finally settled an issue that we've been fighting about for 3 years, and we just did it over a couple telephone calls, something that when Rainbow was in charge, we had to go to Superior Court, and we fixed it. So, I mean, it's been, to me, and I've been the most vocal member of my board, or maybe the most vocal member of the community in Huntington Beach, criticizing this business. I think you know that. And I've been attacked for criticizing them, and I took it. Because you know what? I have to stand for what's right for the children and for the city. But when there have been real changes made, I'm a big enough person to come and say that it's real. And I'm here to tell you that the changes are real.
So your testimony, if I'm to interpret it, is complimenting the district for meeting its obligation to support the community in this effort.
Yes, sir. That's definitely what I'm saying. I'm saying that you all had done a lot to change the situation. And I'm saying since your action and since the changes at Republic, there's been a total difference. And now I'm not going to stand up here and go, oh, it's all, let's hug it out, we love each other. No. Because sometimes it still smells. And if you look at the record of who calls and complains, I'm one of them. Because my son plays soccer at the school. My other son was going to preschool down the street. It still does smell. It does. It's a trash dump. Of course it's going to smell. But does it smell every day where you want to faint or vomit or gag? No. Do our employees sometimes still complain? Call? Yes, they do. They have the right to do that. Are things getting better? Yes, they are. As soon as they can power up that facility and turn on those, state-of-the-art filtration systems that we demanded in our lawsuit, as soon as that can get up and running, which I hear is happening this month, at least one of them, I'm expecting big things. Believe me, if they're not big, then you'll see me again.
Thank you for your testimony.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Ms. Clayton-Tarvin. It looks like Dr. Lerner has also a question.
Just a somewhat medical question.
Yes, sir.
Have you had an inventory or made an inventory or record of illnesses that the kids have experienced so we can document before, during, and soon, hopefully, after this is resolved and the building is finally completed? I think that would be very interesting to see that, because it's sort of a moderately objective way of looking at this. Odors are one thing, but illness, asthma, bronchitis, allergic rhinitis, eye problems, difficulty with speaking, laryngitis.
Yes.
That would be very, very helpful, and the nurse at the school should have a record of this, and that should be really kept up to date. And if it hasn't, I think one should